Hello, hello. How is everyone today? Hopefully all the alerts are working. I had just a little bit of an issue with my second camera a minute ago. Jen, if you are on with me, let me know if you can see anything. Hello, hi Bev, hi Jen. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to go ahead and pop this background piece off here. Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? I hope you are having a fabulous Tuesday. We are going to do the prep work for our Tiki man, which I believe, Bev, have we named him Ralph? I think we've named him Ralph, and he had another official Hawaiian name, Kahona something, I believe. So anyway, we're going to I'll be on 3 times today, you guys. And I guess I should start, Ralph Day. I should start by saying hello. I'm Amy from Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. Thank you for joining us today for day 2 of our free summer series called Tiki Hot. We're having so much fun so far. At least I am. I love to do these Hawaiian things. Ralph wants sparkle. So today, this is our 2-part project for 2 Tutorial Tuesday. Let me just see if I can put a little more light on this guy. This is for 2 Tutorial Tuesday. So when we do that in Cookie Snack Attack, what we are doing is I come on once at noon, and we do all the prep pieces. And then at 7 o'clock tonight, we're going to assemble the whole cookie because we need all our prep pieces to be dried and ready to go. But a bonus today, and let me say hello to a few people. Hi, Jen. You guys say hello over in the comments. Hello, Bev. Yes, it is Ralph Day. Hi, Ira. How are you today? So what we are doing is our prep work to get ready for Ralph. We will be assembling him at 7 o'clock tonight. However, how cool is this? We have a hello Facebook user. I can't tell who you are. Hi, Charlotte, but I'll see you later. I'll see your name when I go back over to Facebook and check for comments after the broadcast. But what I was about to tell you is we have a bonus today on the oops, sorry about that. Let me get that situated for you. On the Colorful Cookie by Nancy Westfall's page, we're going to be doing this guy today. Totally free tutorial. He's in your cutters for the Tiki Hot series. Isn't he so cool? I love him. This, if you bought the cutters or the STL files, this is a very large plaque. You can see it's taking 2 hands to hold it. So it's more of a feature piece, a stylized dessert piece. It can be converted to make a cake topper, but he is definitely high-end multimedia cookie. Isn't he beautiful? So much fun. Hey, Amy, how are you doing? Let me see. Let's put a few more comments up here. So bonus today. Did it look like an earthquake? Sorry about that, Jen. I hope I didn't make anybody seasick. So bonus today hold on, let me get my times right, because Nancy and I are in different time zones, but I did put the event up. So I'll basically be live streaming 3 times today. So at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, we'll have that additional tutorial for you today. And also at the top of today's broadcast, hey, Barbie, how are you doing today? At the top, hey, Deborah, I have put in the links for Cookie Snack Attack group if you want to like that page. That is a free group page where we're sharing all kinds of cookie information, and you get a different free tutorial in there. We've also got the links for the STL cutter files for the Tiki Hot cutters and STL files that are coming from Dots and Bows. I've also listed the coupon if you decide to purchase full sets or individual pieces. You can use the coupon code. That's SS Class 10, and that'll get you an additional 10% off. If you buy the full set of STL files or the full set of cutters, you automatically get a discount. They've made them be on sale for you. Then you can still use your additional 10% off. So basically, it comes to a little bit more than what shipping would be. There's also a link in there for the event with Nancy Westfall on her Colorful Cookie page at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time. If you want to join us for that, that's where we're going to be doing the Tiki with foliage. And I'm pretty sure it'll be over on our page too, but for sure it'll be on Nancy's page. So watch wherever you want to view from. Isn't he so cool? He's so pretty. We had to have some emergency tree work done yesterday. So it was Monday is usually my day to get to do all kinds of fun stuff in my studio. But really, I was just watching trees fall all over the place as they did some quick work in our yard. And when I say quick, there were 7 guys and they were here 9 hours and they were the best. So if you're in Culpeper, let me know. I now can actually recommend a crew to you. Everything is as nice as when they arrived as far as cleaning up. Okay. So anyway, this is the guy we're going to put together tonight. He's so cute. I love him. I love this whole summer series. It's so much fun. So we're going to move him out of the way. There are on my coffee site, which is also posted, but Jen can drop the link into. There is a link to 7 royal icing transfer sheet downloads for today, and a free supply list in one bundle if you only want to do one download. Or if you just want the supply list is up there completely for free today. So some of the things that are on your list today, and these are, again, all these sets each week builds. Hello, my discreet hello. I know why you're actually at work. I won't tell anyone. Just watch as long as you can. How are you? So in the supply list for today, I've linked this, right? And remember, we keep talking about getting different pieces, that things maybe that you use for cakes or that you'd use for cupcake toppers, and converting them or using bits of them on your cookies, because we are really focusing on multimedia cookies for this summer series, Tiki Hot with Seriously Sweet. Okay. So this is one of the things that's listed. And each week, as we're adding in things, those are all things that will carry forward to the next cookie. So you're going to get many, many uses out of them. And your set from Dots and Bows includes 7 cutters, but I just have to tell you, I had some things delivered. I didn't know if they were going to be the right size. They are tropical in theme, super cute. So we're going to have a lot of, I'm going to say a lot, probably another 4 just freebie bonus tutorials in the evening, where we're going to add additional tropical cookies to this set. And you guys are going to love it because they'll be easy to get a hold of cutters. You probably already have a lot of them, but those are going to be completely outside the whole Dots and Bows cutter series that we're doing. Okay. Now, this is the feather mold that I linked for you, but I did notice today when I was confirming that there were still available, when I linked this for you, there are 2 or 3 other feather molds. So this is a great feather mold. I already had this feather mold because I use it to do a dream catcher design that I do on cakes. And then I use the feathers to make cupcake toppers to go along with those cakes. So this is the one I had. I like it because it's got a lot of detail. You can see it's a very flexible mold. So I linked this one. But if you want to just search under feather fondant molds, you'll see that there's a couple others out there. So if you'd prefer to get a different style of feather, totally up to you. Then I also linked a set. I don't have the set that I linked for you specifically because I already had this, but I linked a set that I thought was really good of a 3-piece summer fondant series that's got flamingos, which would be great if you want to do cupcake toppers to go along with this cookie. If you end up doing a luau set or Hawaiian set, it's got these leaves in it, and it's got the large leaves that I made you a royal icing transfer sheet for. So if you'd rather do those large leaves in, what am I trying to tell you? If you'd rather do them in fondant instead of doing the royal icing transfers, you have the ability for that too. But that set has 3 pieces in it for a pretty good price. And then I linked, I had these already. These are from Killer Zebra, a large plumeria and a small plumeria. what I linked for you was the one that I have from Amazon that has 3 different sizes all in one mold. So if you want to do the fondant bits, I've got all that linked for you today too. And then you will be getting these royal icing transfer templates in your set today. And none of these are in the set from last week. So if you want, I'll show you in a minute what was in last week in case you want to decide about purchasing all of the templates, okay? So this is really important. This week, I put in 3 sizes of this leaf because throughout the series of Tiki Hot, we're going to be using all 3 sizes of this palm leaf, okay? And then today I've got the plumeria in there for you. I'm going to show you a really fancy way to pipe that. And then I'm also going to show you how to do it a really fast, easy way. And then I have this template in here for you. This is an actual clip art of a plumeria leaf. So I'm going to show you how to pipe it so that when this is done, it actually looks like a plumeria leaf. All right, so before we start these, which is what we're going to do right now, and we're going to do a little bit of fondant work, please know that if you go back like 2 or 3 days, there's a full video on painting fondant bits that I had already made in the tropical series. So there's a whole nother video out there if you want to go next level with shading and painting the fondant so that you have it all ready. And one of the things I'm doing is preparing a whole lot of pieces so that as I go week to week, I'm not redoing the same steps each week because all of these things will flow to the item that's after the item we did that week. So last week in your set, you got this hibiscus flower, okay? And then you got the hibiscus flower with the stem that's set up to use when you make this, right? So you would make these and let them dry. Then you would come back and make this and add these to it. Then this is the stem for the actual cookie that we did last week. And there's some nice photographs of that up there as well. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Then this is also sized. You can see for reference point, these are the leaves to go with your hibiscus, some double leaves and some single leaves so that you can get some additional dimension. This is the large leaves that work on the full size cookie that we did from the cutter that was made by Dots and Bows for us. And then we also did these cool fan leaves, and I showed you a couple ways to just straight out pipe them. We also did painting on these in that older video, or the video I just did a couple days ago. And then I also showed you how to use that cool accordion fan done with parchment or cupcake liners where you could get that actual look. Get that fan look, because this is a fan leaf. So that's the ones from last week. So last week does not overlap with this week. Last week you had five in there plus your free supply list. That's in last week. And then this week you have these 7. Okay. And so what we're going to do, because I want to try to keep this beginning video to 45 minutes for you today, I'm going to show you some pieces that I already have made, and then we're going to demo a few of these pieces. Whoop, gotta lean way over. So look at what I've already made. This is like a smorgasbord of all things cool, fun, and tiki. So in an older video, let's talk about these really quick. This is actually, these are faces that I made from an older ice cube mold, a silicone ice cube mold. Now, when I started to link this, the night that I started to set this up for you, they had about 7 to 10 of these available coming from 2 different sites. But I think people must have jumped on right away and found them on their own. And so they currently show sold out. However, I'm going to drop a link in here for you. There is another set, another mold. It's just one face repeated many times, which is great for cupcake toppers, but it's Easter Island tiki heads, I believe is what it says on it. So you can use that. But I think if you will just hang with me and you're not afraid of these, I think you're going to really enjoy just piping the tiki mouths and then making your own face. It's not hard to do at all. So I'm going to give you a lot of options. So this is how your mouths start out. And I did several colors so you guys could take a look at them and then maybe decide how you want to lay out your Tiki Man Ralph. Okay. So I did it this way, but then let me show you this too, because a lot of tikis, they actually have that black background and then they don't put teeth. So here is one done, same color outer edge, but I filled it with the black. So he won't have teeth. He'll just have this very rustic look. This I'm going to show you before we sign off today. Oh, and here's another one done in hot pink and black in case you want that for the mouth. Okay, and then this, I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to show you how to add the teeth super easy. Now, if you want to invest the time, you can pipe each tooth separately and it looks fantastic. But if you don't want to invest that much time, I'm going to show you how to do this with using a fine point marker, how to make the teeth, which is how I did it on the one that we're going to demo for you today in Nancy Westfall's group, okay? And then let's come around here. So that bamboo mold I just showed you. Here's a bunch of the fondant pieces from that. And the video, if you'll go back and watch that video, is going to show you how to take them from this, which is just two colors where I've worked in the gel coloring. So this is two colors. They look great like this, but if you want to go next level, there's a whole video for you on how to do this with dry dusting and then a little bit of Everclear, okay? So you've got that to look at as well. All right. And then the thing I did not link for you today, I'm not planning on using it today, but if you took one of my Daisy tutorial from a couple of months ago, streaming on Tuesday, this is the leaf. This is the punch that I used to make the wafer paper leaves. So if you go back and watch that Daisy video, it's going to talk to you about airbrushing the wafer paper. And then I punched out these leaves. They look so cute. So get a bunch of those ready, probably keeping it in that neon yellow and that neon green as we go forward. Then these are just different colors of the little palm leaves that we have ready to go. And I did some, let me show you the colors that I did just to show you what you could get for differences if you don't want to take the time to paint these. So these are the neon green mixed in to get this color. This is oversaturating in the neon green goes to this, and then these are the ones I painted the other night. So mixing those, you already have a ton of different color and dimension on your cookie for accent pieces, okay? Now today you have two mouths, two types of tiki mouths. I set you up two templates. So we have the more rounded over here, and then we have the one that comes up to more points. These are really popular. If you start looking around at tikis, these are the two most popular style mouths. So that's what I've linked for you. So these are the two I'm going to pull out, and we're going to do teeth on those today. Now, if you are in patience, if you have some pretty good patience and you want to hand cut, you can hand cut some wafer paper palm leaves. These look really cute. They're lightweight. They're totally edible, so they're safe for kids. I just lightly sprayed the back and the front and cut these out. It's a basic pattern. I took the shape basically from your royal icing transfer template. Last week, the hibiscus that I showed you, these are the hibiscus from last week's template. So there's a full free video out on this. Full free video out on this for how to make these. Okay, and then this week, these are the palm leaves, just some different ways that you can use that template to pipe the palm leaves. And we're going to do those in just a minute. So this is where I mixed two colors and did a little wet on wet. And then I let them crust just a little bit and then came back and roughed them up. And then we've got these little leaves. Once they had crusted, I was able to come in with my boo-boo stick and split the leaves a little further. So working towards sculpting, but not technically on the sculpting level yet for those, but something fun to start with for this week. Okay, so Sally, these actually sold out before I could even get them linked for you. That's why I'm showing you today, because I had showed them to you previously, but you really don't need them. This is more like if you just don't want to pipe the faces, because this face is done just by using the royal icing transfer templates that I gave you. This piece is done from a transfer, and then this part is just hand piped. So I'm going to show you how to do that tonight when we assemble this cookie. Tonight we are doing, gosh, I'm sitting here seriously, I haven't even gotten up and I've lost Tiki Man Ralph already. So this is the cookie we're going to assemble tonight, okay? Oh, Jen, okay, if you found not the Easter Island ones, but these little guys, if you found it, I don't care if it's on Walmart, it doesn't matter. But if you found that, can you drop that link in? Because people will want that. I searched again this morning before we came on, but I couldn't find any available. All right, and then these are our leaves from last week, guys. So when you get started on these pieces and some of the little fans, make extra. Don't make enough just for the cookie you're on. Go ahead and get you a cookie sheet set up or a fun summer platter, something like this, and start getting your pieces made. These we're going to make today. But if you have a bunch made up, then while you're putting your cookie together, you can quickly look over and go, ooh, I want a big statement leaf. I want a teeny tiny leaf, but it's already made. So you're ready to go. Okay. This is what we're going to make today. I want to show this to you. I did it in 2 colors. This is how you pipe that plumeria leaf on the royal icing transfer template, and look at the details so that it actually comes out looking like a true plumeria leaf. So we've got the most popular sizes. I did this in 2 colors. The reason I did a bunch of these lighter is so you could go back and paint them like we did in the other video to shade this. So that's so much fun too. And next week in your templates, you'll be getting palm leaves. So I've got these laid out for you, and we're going to do them in a couple colors and do some shading. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to pipe them so that you have the holes. So these are just some of the pieces, but last week and this week have no overlapping royal icing transfer templates. And then we've posted some of the, a couple of the fondant molds, the ones we're going to be using today. So I'm going to go ahead and we will start. Let me set this over here so I don't break it. I also did a product reveal video that was Cookie Countess. It has some gorgeous Hawaiian stencils in it. So if you want to focus your class time with me on making your stylized dessert, your feature piece cookies, your cake toppers, that's fabulous. But then please go back and watch that product reveal, because it would be a super easy way to just cut rectangular cookies and do the airbrushed Tiki faces. So I may do a few of those up just so you can see what I'm talking about, but they have some great stencils out. They've got some torch stencils out, the Tiki torches. They've got an Aloha stencil out if you want to use that, but just some really cute stuff. That's already done in a product reveal. And let me go back just for a second, catch up on comments, and then we're going to do a little fondant work really quick. So I had some questions on that. Okay, so yes, this is the additional discount code. It's SS Class 10. Use that even if you already buy the set of STLs or the set of cutters from Dots and Bows. They gave us a little discount if you bought the whole set, but then you can also use this on your total order. So that will help too, okay? Let's see. Hey, Amy. Let's see. Jen is saying hi to Barbie. I think I said hi to Barbie already, but just in case, I don't want to miss you guys. Sally, I hope work is going great. Let's see. Yes, get all the templates because they're all different and they build on each other. And that way you'll have options as you're putting your pieces together. And if you've already gotten your cutters or you got those STL files and started printing, you know that when I was not exaggerating when I said that 3 of them are super large. Okay, they are really big, and that is so that you can make them your feature piece on your cookie tray or to use them for cake toppers. So let's see. I know I love the purple, the neon purple from Chef Master. So pretty. Hi, Charlotte. Charlotte's in San Antonio today. Where is everybody watching from today? And yeah, it was around Easter time. It was the daisy cookies when we did the hexagon daisies. And I've got that on my Facebook page, and it's linked on the coffee site if you want to watch that video. Hi, hello. I think I already answered this. They're not on another list currently because the mold sold out. And Jen said she found them on Walmart. So she's got a live link on the Facebook page. She popped that up there. The original white faces that I did there in fondant, because it's already too hot here to do modeling chocolate, I'd preferred to have done them in modeling chocolate. The other pieces I just showed you are a mixture of fondant and royal icing transfers. Hey, Mary, how are you doing? And Mary is watching with us from Canada today. How fun is that? April is here from Louisiana. How are you doing today? Nice. And let's see, Jen is in Oregon, and I think Sally's in Kansas. Are you in Kansas or Missouri? I can't remember. Anyway, all right. So if anybody wants to drop me some other comments over there, yes, Oh, yeah, 109 where you are. It is so hot the last few days, you guys. So modeling chocolate's out for me, but perhaps you're in an area that is cooler and you can get away with modeling chocolate for another month or two. But let me just show you how I prep my fondant in case you haven't watched that other video. I'll make one piece real quick and then we'll move on. Does anybody have any questions yet? Everybody okay over there? All right, so I keep my fondant in a Ziploc bag, a freezer safe Ziploc bag. It doesn't have to be freezer safe. It's just that they're thicker. So I feel like that works a little easier for me. I also have Tylose powder, which I didn't link for you today, but I just picked this up at Michael's. It's just standard Tylose. I don't put a lot in here. And this is a homemade marshmallow fondant. So again, if you guys want to go into the cookie snack attack group, somebody's already shared a homemade marshmallow fondant in there because that actually does taste really good. If you want to use that, you can. I'm just using some Wilton. I didn't have time to make any more fresh. So I just work a small piece. You saw it was a very small ball that I take out. It's very small. I'm just taking off a smidge of this. I just dunk it in there so it's like dusted, like dusting something with powdered sugar. And it adds a little bit of texture to your fondant, but it doesn't mess it up or make it taste terrible or anything. So I'm just going to start with this little piece, move this out of the way. And how about we just start with our feather mold, because people had questions about using knives with their fondant molds. I don't ever have to do that. It's Tylose powder and it's by Wilton. That's the brand that I add. And it just makes it harden faster. So, and it helps it pop out of the molds easier. I don't usually have to dust my molds or anything either. But what's nice about this is it allows you to mold your pieces, like twist them, curve them. So it gives a lot of dimension to leaves and things like that. And it makes it dry, nice, and firm. So for instance, on this cookie that we're going to do today with Nancy and the Colorful Cookie Club, this is the feathers where I made them and then painted them and airbrushed them, did a little dry dusting. But you can see I was able to curve them. They actually come up off the cookie. So this is oops, just tipped something off, but you can see I got a lot of dimension with these by coming in at different angles. So he's the one we're going to make today at, oh, no, good. I thought I broke him. He is the one we're going to make today at 2 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. So when I'm working with a piece like this, I try to keep it in motion so it doesn't set up. And I start with a small bit like this. And then I generally just start right in the center of the item that I'm working on. And I'm literally just squishing this down into the areas. Now, perhaps I've gotten pretty good at gauging this. So I'm not sure. I think start smaller, add to it. And then you see, I don't even need to trim this. But if you did have too much in this, you just a little quick finger scrape like this will pull the extra off if you want to. And then work it back here. Work it in. I love these super soft molds. Someone had a question for me. Could you use like ice cube molds that are not flexible? You can try them. It's just going to be harder to get them out. This mold's super easy. Watch how easy this is. You just start it and pull it back and the feathers out and all the detail is there. Isn't that beautiful? So on an ice cube mold where it's not going to be flexible, it's going to be hard to get it out. I can pop them into the freezer usually for 5 minutes, bring them out. They're hard. It's an ice cube tray and then just pop them down like this and it generally will pop right out. It doesn't work all the time, so you'll have to experiment with the particular molds that you're using, but it has worked previously for me very well. So for Tiki Man Ralph, if you already have some feather molds, make enough feather molds to make his headdress tonight. And we're going to jump quickly and we're going to do his tiki mouth, right? So we're going to have this cool tiki mouth. Tonight, we're going to be piping this part as the bottom of his tiki face. And we're going to do a little detail work down here. Up top, we're going to put some feathers. We're probably going to put at least one of the flowers from last week on him, although you could add the plumeria if you want. Now, I would just let your mouths set up all day. If you have a dehydrator, I would run them through there as well. I'm just going to be using my edible ink marker that I have linked in your supply list today. this end of it, the pointy end, fine point end. If you have a Tweets marker like this, you can also use this if you want finer. Oh, wait, that's the brush one. Sorry. Grabbed the wrong one. Hold on just a second. Nope, that's a brush too. What did I do with it? It's right here. I know it is because I used it yesterday for something else. Let me see. I think I'm looking for this one. No, I need the one that says 3. So those are the 2-point brushes. We need the one that says 3, and it's a fine tip marker. All right, I have no idea what I did with it. It's here in this 3-foot area. Oh, here we go. So Tweets makes this marker if someone wants to find the link and drop it in, if you want a really, really fine point. However, this particular Tweets marker, this is not, I believe the Tweets is not, it's non-toxic, but it's not FDA approved. These edible markers that look just like this, these are FDA approved ink. So I'm going to use that for you today. But so what you'll do, guys, is you just find the center, and you want to give him some dimension by rounding his teeth so he looks kind of mean, right? So the first thing I do is I know that this is going to be the top. So I'm going to flip it because I'm right-handed, and I want to work with the curve where his upper teeth come downward. So I'm going to come straight across using the finest point, and I'm going to just commit to my curved line and go straight across. So you see that makes the middle section of his teeth, right? So fun. And then what I'm going to do is come in the middle. I don't want him to have perfect teeth like he had braces and all of that, and he's looking all snazzy. I want him to look a little rugged. So in the center, I'm going to offset his teeth. So his top tooth here, I'm going to offset that just a smidge. But I do want it to line up upper and lower, right? We want him to match across this way, like he's snarling at somebody. So we're going to come here, and then I will turn this and just carefully work in there because I don't want to get that color on his lips. And I'm going to explain to you something you can do before you, when you're doing your royal icing transfers, if you don't want to wait to the end to do this. Some people have shaky hands. I get it. Mine are fine right now, but I've had no caffeine today. So if I started trying to do this after I'd had sweet tea at lunch, then we all know this would be just crazy lines. Right now, I've got a steady hand. But, you know, when you're baking and you're making cupcakes and cakes and your hands are really getting a lot of use, just sometimes by the end of the day, not that great. But doesn't he look like the perfect tiki mouth? So you can accomplish that level of detail with the edible ink marker. I'm going to set that to the side. You can go ahead and do one of these, right? So let's talk about that really quickly. Let's go ahead and go to our Tiki templates. Yeah, let's go to, and I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. We're going to talk about a couple of things. So to start with, if you are uncomfortable with doing the line while it's on, when the lips are already around it, then do your white, do the white section, let the whole thing set up, do your lines, then come back and do your outer edge of the lip, okay? And what do I mean by that? So this part, just go ahead and outline and flood this part. And you can do as many of these as you want. All right, outline and fill, and I'm just filling the entire area. And I'm just going to demonstrate one of these because the other one is going to be done the same way. Give it a quick shake. If you feel like your icing is settling, but it's not settling fast enough, you, of course, can go back and use your scribe tool to manipulate this if you want to. But you would do all of these white bits first, okay? Just give it a little shake here. Then let this totally dry. Not just crust over, but dry, because even if it's crusted, if you're using that heavier point marker, it could bust through your icing. Let the whole thing dry, draw your teeth on, then come back and do your lips, okay? And you can do your lips in all different colors like I did, because my plan is to use different colored lips on everything on the Tiki mouth so that they look good together. I'm using all the same color palette. Like we talked about in the beginning, those Chef Master neon colors are just going to carry over each week. So that's why we're doing that. So I know my color palette's going to look right together, but I want everything to be nice and vibrant and just real pretty colors. So I'm going to do a hot pink outline today. I mixed up a small bag so I could try to keep it out of the frame on the camera for you. And so watch, this doesn't even have to be an outline and flood situation. If you are a new cookier or you're only, let's say you're someplace between beginner intermediate, this Tiki series is super forgiving because remember, everything is supposed to look highly textured and rough. That's how an actual Tiki statue would be. They're not generally smooth, polished looking, right? So we're going to do this and pressure piping around where it just comes up, right? You just wait long enough for the white to crust that you can add the lips to where they're not going to self-heal and marry together, because you do want the dimension. However, my white icing was pretty thick, so I feel like this is still going to give me dimension. But if your icing is not thick enough that it will stay separate looking as you're putting it down, just wait a little bit longer for that center to crust. So now we've talked about one way that you could do these. You can pipe the white, let it crust, draw the teeth on, and then come back and add the lips later. Okay, you can do that, but it adds time and an extra step. So if you're unsure about that, the way I did the ones that I prepped for you yesterday was I pressure piped all of my lips, and I went through and I did every one of my lips in a different color. And you can see my pressure piping is what's making my outline, and that's how I'm able to do these so fast. If I outline and then flood, it's going to take me longer, and I'm not getting the same look with the rounded lip. So you see how nice that looks? So I changed up all my colors. Now, the reason I initially did the outlining first yesterday was because I had planned to come back and pipe alternating teeth across the top and bottom so that my teeth were separate. But the one that I did that way, it was okay, but then it required me to add another step to my royal icing transfer to get the antiquing between the teeth so that they looked like Tiki teeth, right? They can't be perfect dental teeth like I would use on a braces or an orthodontist cookie that I'm making. These needed to look roughed up. So what I found was it was better to pipe them like this with the outline of the lips, let it crust, and then come back and make really exaggerated, rounded center area with this filling, make it real puffy, and then draw my teeth on. Hey, Shayna, how are you doing? So, but you can do it this way. And let's see, where are we at on time? We got a few more minutes. So you could just pipe each of these teeth. Again, though, this is going to add a lot of time to creating your transfers because they can't touch. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? I hope that's making sense to everybody. If you're only doing one cookie, it's for you, and you want something fabulous to be photographed and you want to put that extra time in, I say go for it. If it's a hobby, you're okay. Now you see what I'm having to do is alternate top and bottom, and I can't have anything that's touching anything because I want to have the relief. So basically it takes 3 passes to make individual teeth, and then we'll have to go back and do some shading with dry dust to get the dirty wooden carved look on those. Okay, so that's how you would do both of your Tiki mouths. Now this one I left like this just to explain something to you. Do you see how it's black here? If you don't want to use the royal icing transfer templates, which I would highly recommend because our Tiki body itself is going to be very rustic, it's a very thick icing. So the reason I recommend the templates for this in particular is so that they will sit basically up on top of that rough texture and have that nice pop, because if not, you're trying to pipe a mouth on top of a really rough texture. So this just makes it a little easier, and it's going to go a lot faster, and you'll be sure everything is set up okay. So let's move these out of the way. Let's see, let's put them over here. And let's go ahead and pipe the leaves on this just so you can see what I'm talking about for how we're able to pipe it a certain way. It's a lot like the things we do at Christmas where we do individual. Hey, Shayna, how are you doing today? Hi, Cheryl. Jen, yeah, I think I just answered that. You could do wet on, I don't know if you would technically call it wet on wet, but you can do the individual piping so that you get the dimension. And this is my thick This is the neon, just with lots of color in it, okay? Done as a toothpaste consistency, so around a 30-second icing on here. All right, so let's take a look at this, okay? And again, I'm right-handed. You flip it the other way if you're a southpaw, okay? So I'm tilting this, and let me get it out of that bright light. So I'm tilting it. I'm getting my bag really tight because this icing's super thick, and I don't want to deal with the icing moving back and forth top to bottom, right? I want a nice pipe. So what I'm going to do is start here, and I'm just going to put down 1 dollop of icing. Then I'm going to start with the edge of my leaf, and I'm going to go to the center, and I'm going to come to the outside. But this is a lot like how we do Christmas evergreen bits when we're doing wreaths. We've just applied the same technique to making these beautiful plumeria flowers. Now, this is something I'd sit down and I would do a whole bunch of these. I would do a whole bunch of these when you do them so that they're done, because this is one of the ones that takes a lot of patience. The icing has to be perfect. So it's in order to get this look so that it looks veined like a real plumeria leaf, which is, I believe, also called frangipani, right? Plumeria is also frangipani, if you know that name. So do you see what I'm doing though? I'm just going into the center in one direction, and from that same point, I'm coming out to the edge on the other side. Now listen, if you do enough of these, you will have this mastered and you will be set for a project that I'm working on for Christmas. But once your icing is perfect, when the icing is working with you, do a whole bunch of these. Because what happens when the icing is working properly for you, look what you can get with this. Isn't this fun? Look, so when it's right, you get this awesome dimension. Now, I'm also going to show you something. Do you see, I'm right-handed. Do you see how easy and clean my line is on the left-hand side where I start, but you can see the little jagged edges on the right? Let me show you how to quickly clean that up. Pipe your whole leaf. Then use your boo-boo stick or your thingamajiggy. All right, just have a piece of paper towel handy. Jen, I tried piping the center vein first and I didn't like it because then everything had to be separate as I was piping. So it took way too long. Hey, Rebecca, how are you doing? So this way you get the same look. I'm using the scribe tip and just kind of breaking that right there to pull it together. Then I'm going to go back and use the boo-boo stick side. One side or the other is just going to have that little bit of roughness to it because the icing is so thick where it breaks off. It's just going to happen. It's a little cleaner where you start. So depending on whether you're right or left-handed, but look at that beautiful leaf. And this actually, because I've cut it to probably like a number 3 tip on my tipless bag, about the same width as a number 3 tip. These popped off here perfect. I didn't even have one of them that broke. So I was super happy about that. All right, so let's set that to the side. Now, these little leaves, you can get crazy with these. I'm going to do this big one for you just for some fun. I haven't piped the great big one yet, but we are going to be using that later today on the one that we're doing in the Colorful Cookie Club. So this, you can do this a lot of different ways. When I started piping this, I found this was the easiest. And again, this is an outline for you. You don't have to use this exactly. It's more to keep your overall icing bits together. I really enjoy piping these large ones. I found they not this size, the next size down from it, and the smaller one are the ones I started out with. But I really enjoyed piping this bigger one because I can still get a strong royal icing transfer in this larger size. I can still get a strong one and leave holes. So it has the splits in the leaves, which I really like. All right, so then I just come up to this one. And obviously these have to be a nice thick icing. And you should pipe it in sections as you go, instead of outlining and then coming back and flooding the whole thing, because I'm using the same consistency icing to do the entire transfer. So I want it to heal a little bit between each of the layers as I go. And it lets me use the tip of my bag to manipulate the icing just a little bit because I want it to have that rough texture, because I will be coming back on these this evening and putting a little airbrush color on the leaf. I like the dry dusting in the small ones, but on the larger ones, they usually end up on the cookie behind a bunch of things. So what I want to do is just spend the time on the fine details on the ones that are going to show up in the forefront. And then these, since I know they're going to be under flowers, under other leaves, I don't want to spend as much time on them. Now, you can certainly spend the same amount of time on everything that you're doing, just giving you some tips, having created a lot of these. And if you're using a thick enough icing, you see we're in the smaller area now. So the bottom's a lot wider. And you see that I'm actually joining the petals, even though on your template it shows them separate. You can do this and completely fill in the entire leaf if you want to. You don't have to leave any of the holes. And you can do a little bit of dry dusting and create a really similar look. I just really like to leave that open because some of the bits, you'll see the cookie through it. So it's just fun since it's cookie art, right? Edible art here. All right, so I'm going to finish this one. What I'm doing for this one is basically the same thing that you will do for all your leaves. If you want a smoother leaf, then definitely use a little bit thinner icing. But just know you're going to have to let it set a little bit longer, and you're not going to have as much texture on it when you come back to it, okay? So if at this point you want to give it more texture, you can just work in lines coming back across that where it's starting to crust. If you're using a thinner icing, a good shake, shake, shake will settle everything down. But just doing this little bit that I'm doing here is going to keep us, it's going to keep us from having to come back. Look how pretty it is once you get the little marks in it and everything. So you can put a lot of details on them. You can make them super quick. And then I would go ahead and have a few of your hibiscus flowers ready for tonight. If you're going to assemble the cookie, if you've already gotten your cutters or your cookie cutters printed and your cookies baked off, if you want to do that with me tonight, I'd have a few plumeria flowers ready and a few hibiscus. But let's lift that up so I can show you what I'm talking about with the texture. So do you see what we're able to do so that it actually looks like one of the palm leaves? So pretty. And because this is a good thick icing and I've put a lot, it's deep, right? It's going to come off as a good strong transfer. So you have 3 sizes of those. I would prep different sizes and I'd mix up my greens, a lighter green, a darker green, all of that. Yes, replay is available on all 3 of the lives that I'm doing today. And I am going to go ahead and jump off. If you get started with those things, also, if you're going to cookie with me tonight, have 2 shades of toothpaste consistency brown ready tonight. And then your royal icing transfers, and you'll need a little bit of green icing. And we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. That's at the 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. tonight, we're going to do the full tutorial. It could end up being an hour, hour and a half. I'm not sure how long it'll take us. Because I want to go slow and answer your questions. But we'll be doing Tiki Ralph tonight. I can't remember his Kona name, but he has a Hawaiian god name. I don't remember what they said it was, but they named him the other night. So this will be on replay. The 7 o'clock will be on replay. And this is the one that we're going to create in just a little bit in Nancy Westfall's group, the Colorful Cookie. There, she's got an event set up on there if you want a reminder, because the reminders will be coming from her page. But this is the one called Tiki with Foliage. We're going to be creating him today on Nancy's page, okay? So lots of free things going on. All of the royal icing transfer templates from today are for sale in the coffee shop. If anybody wants to donate anything to the live streams, but you don't want any of the downloads, you can do that too. And let me flash this up really quick to end the video with, if you have not signed up for text alerts, please sign up by typing the word or sending the word live stream to the phone number 540-870-0726. Then you will get a text alert before we go live, except this one. You did not get a text alert. That was totally my bad. One of my cameras crashed and I was trying to fix that before we went live, and I needed to get on before the Facebook link dropped. So I promise I will go ahead and send the alert for 7 o'clock and the 2 o'clock with Nancy Westfall. And then I'll resend it probably 15 minutes before we go live tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay. Thank you for joining me, Amy at Seriously Sweet, for our summer series called Tiki Hot. You guys leave me a comment over there. If you have any questions, please leave that for me. Jen, thank you for posting links for me today. And it was really good to see all of you guys. And I will be looking forward to seeing you at 2 p.m. I have to look at my board. 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central in the Colorful Cookie. And then I'll see you again tonight in the Cookie Snack Attack group, or on my YouTube channel, or on my Seriously Sweet Facebook page. And we will be finishing up Ralph the Little Tiki Man. Okay. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Have a great day.